Hey, Pete here, HVAC Greatness. Got a story for you. For those of you who don't know, I used to live in South America, in Colombia, and it was pretty cool, actually. And I got a little story. When I moved into the city called Medellin, which is a big city down there, I had made a friend. I met a guy, he was from America, engineer, real smart guy. And he invited me by his place, and he said, hey, come on by. I want to show you my place. And we go by there, and he's in an efficiency, and he was kind of bragging on how little it cost him, right? And, so be it. But he literally had no furniture. I didn't have any place to sit. And I'm looking around, I'm saying, and it just dawned on me. I said, hey, I just moved into this place over here. It's a little small as well. And I have a dining room table, and it's got 6 chairs. We're only using 4, and the other 2 are kind of sitting over in the corner. I could free up that space. You could have a couple of chairs where you can sit. They're nice and cushioned, wood chairs, and they're very comfortable. And he said, yeah, that'd be cool. I appreciate that, right? So we pick up the chairs, drop them off over there, get him all set up, and he's good to go. He decided at some point that he didn't want the chairs in his place anymore, that they were in the way. But the way he communicated that to me, it really pissed me off. Imagine this is you, okay? So I get a text message from him. It says, hey, Pete, I need your chairs out of there, and I need your chairs out of my home, and I need them out today. At 1 o'clock, I'm taking them down and setting them on the sidewalk. I'll be there for 15 minutes, and then I'm gone. I mean, I can't believe what I'm reading. Where's this coming from, right? He never mentioned that he wanted them removed before. Otherwise, I'd have went over there and removed them, obviously. They're my chairs. I could use them too, but I was trying to help him out. And so I show up over there because I said, what was that? He says, got you in here, didn't I? He said, hey, got you on time. And I said, you don't communicate to friends like this. You don't tell me that you're going to basically abandon my furniture on the street, So we go down this. And he says, listen, I've been in Colombia, and to get anybody here to be on time, you basically have to put something in place that makes them be on time. And what he was talking about is the culture in Colombia is very relaxed, but they're Colombians, they're Latins, they're brought up that way. If you say 1 o'clock, they may be 1 o'clock, it may be 3 o'clock, it may be tomorrow, but it's rarely 1 o'clock, to be honest. And I said, dude, I'm not Colombian, okay? I'm an American. You tell me 1 o'clock, I'm going to be here at 1 o'clock. And first of all, you didn't even ask me. You just lay it out there. And it's basically leveraging a perceived weakness through a threat to get them to do what you want. Anybody that threatens you is coming from a position of weakness, or they're trying to exploit your weakness. It really pissed me off. So fast forward years later, I'm doing heating and air. I get a phone call from this guy. He needs his air conditioning fixed, right? And he calls up and he says, yeah, I'd like you to come out and take care of my air conditioning problem. I go, sure, what's your address? Gives me his address. And he says, by the way, I've got 2 other companies that are coming out here. So between the 3 of you, whoever gets here first gets the business. What is that? And, obviously, what my answer was, thanks, but no thanks. So I said, listen, sounds like you're covered. We're busy anyway. Best of luck. Saved his name and phone number. Not going back to that house, right? And so he's trying to leverage something called fear of loss, if you will. Like, that service call, was really, all of that, in terms of importance. And so it got me to thinking about this. And I looked this up. Here's a couple of examples. The types of motivators are intrinsic or extrinsic. And it really allows you into the soul of the person who leverages this kind of stuff. So see here, extrinsic, I don't know if you can read this. Fear, manipulation, money, which leads me to money. I bought a car when I was 20 years old. It was one of my first purchases when I was in the Army. And I was off base there in Fort Carson, Colorado, in Colorado Springs. And the guy at the car lot, he says, he was kind of stereotypical in that feeling that you get around, certain types of people that are in the sales role, not salespeople in general, because there's some good ones. He wanted me to get my friends to come over and buy cars from him as well. And he says, hey buddy, I tell you what, if you get your buddies over there in the Army to come by and buy a car from me, there's $50 in it for you. $50. And every time he'd bring it up, $50, and he's writing on a card on the back, $50, And I'm thinking to myself, you can't buy me. I'm not going to sell out my friends for $50 because I really didn't trust the guy anyway. I mean, the car was fine. I could see that. I knew enough about vehicles at that time where I was comfortable with the purchase. I didn't really, bond with this particular guy. But can you see how people try to manipulate through leverage and basically your perceived weakness? They want to take advantage of your weakness. 20-year-old kid needs money. I'm gonna take advantage of that. $50. New business needs customers. I'm going to take advantage of that. Fear of loss. Call 3 people. Whoever gets here first. The other type is called intrinsic. When people operate from an intrinsic motivation, it comes from a genuine place: love, meaning, mastery, learning, curiosity, belonging. There's several different types, but here's a better example of intrinsic motivation. Reciprocity. This is a good one. Now, first of all, let me say, businesses manipulate and misuse this all the time. But if you do something for somebody and there is no expectation of them doing something back for you, a favor, a gift, whatever, then that's genuine. And that's very powerful. But if you do it because you're manipulating a little bit, trying to persuade somebody, I do this for you, now you need to do business, you need to buy from me, right? Then it becomes unhealthy. Shared values. One of my strongest values is family. One day I go on an estimate, and the man there, when I pulled in the driveway, he met me outside. I said, listen, Grandpa's with me today. My grandfather was like 90 years old. He's spoiled rotten. I took him on estimates with me. He'd sit out in the truck. I'd park in the shade, bring the windows down. He was fine. And I said, I got to keep an eye on Grandpa. He's working with me today. But let's take a look and see what you got, what kind of system you need, right? And so we go through and we're measuring and we're looking at Grandpa occasionally and back and forth. And so we get to the end of the interaction. And I said, this is the system that I'd recommend based on everything that we've come together to understand about what you need, what you want, what your home needs, family needs, and everything else. And so he says, I'm gonna go with you. He says, I'd like to buy my new system from you. I said, great, you're gonna love it. It's a great system. It's got this, it's got that. He goes, no. I know all that's good. He said, I'm not doing business with you because of that. I'm doing business with you because of that right over there. And he points to Grandpa. And he says, any man to take care of his family like you're taking care of yours gets my business. And again, this was an intrinsic motivation. This was not an expectation. And it was just an example of the difference in powerless and powerful. When you are who you are, because it's the right thing to do, you inspire other people to want to move forward and do business with you. But if you use tactics and leverage manipulation strategies and things like this, be careful. Be careful, because this creates a situation where people move forward for the wrong reasons. They get buyer's remorse and they want to back out. It's got to be for intrinsic reasons, because you have met what they're looking for internally, and logical reasons, because this makes sense, right? Both need to be present. So a good balanced approach is part of a healthy interaction. But I thought that I share that with you because, it was a lesson that I'd learned over a period of time. There's plenty of other ones. I'm sure you have yours. But anyway, something to think about. Pete Ramsey, HVAC Greatness. Go out there, be honest, care for your customers, and serve with an honest heart. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.